Welcome back, my friends. My name is Rich, and we're still investigating. Started as a mystery, then it was a murder. Now it's a love triangle. A love triangle between two sisters who were identical, who spent their whole life pretty much fooling everybody that they were the same person until this gentleman Simon came along. So today we're gonna continue trying to solve this. There's so many things, notes I've written down on things to try to investigate. The only visible clue I found to tell the difference between the two is just what they were wearing that day they interviewed them. At the end of the last video, she even almost admitted to killing her sister, but I don't know who was the younger one. Because the one version, when she's wearing a blue t-shirt with a tattoo, I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Hannah or if that's Eve. Hannah's the one who was married to Simon, and Eve is the opposite, the other sister. Now, Eve grew up... Well, I won't tell you guys. If you guys are interested, watch the video before. I don't want to ruin it. Maybe for people who this is their first video and want to discover things on their own, right? But okay, guys. I have one last note on my first page. Well, I have two or three. We're gonna try to get done with those, and then we're gonna do tattoo. So I really want to tell the difference between her, but the more I seem to search, the more things I find. There's 5 for Dollhouse, and we already did them all. Okay. The only other thing was war. Okay. So like I said before, guys, if you guys got some coffee, hit that up. Smoke them if you got them. Menthol, always a good choice. We're gonna do some investigating here. We are gonna solve this mystery. Now, as we're going through our database here, you can see we still have a lot of videos left to see. Let's go through. For some reason, I wrote down read. Something new.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in, Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
My pen just ran out of ink now. There's a couple things. There's 9 for red, but I feel like I searched stories. I know I did, but let's type it in. Find 8, but I've already watched everything that I can. Okay. I wrote down widow when she was talking about the midwife, Florence. Okay, we got all that out of the way. 1 page of notes done, right? I have all this info on Simon. Let's go through some of that here. We can find out more about the dearly departed. Let's search Eric. 14 entries about Eric. Okay.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
We searched Carl, right? I don't know why I didn't check Carl off. Yeah. It's the first video about Eric.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Ooh. See, we should have tracked his things tracked his card to see if we could find out what happened. She has this bruise on the side of her face. I wonder if Hannah killed her and then assumed the identity of the sister after she killed her. And they got in a fight, which is why she's got this bruise on the side of her face.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Oh, Diane is Eric's wife? Hold on, I have a page for Eric. Ooh. Ooh, a new shirt.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
No, that must be important if we got an achievement for it.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
I thought she already told me that story.
He was wearing a shirt.
I thought I already saw that story. Hold on, save. I want to save this one.
He was wearing so it was Friday, so the Friday night, but not Saturday. Yes, there's a car that. Yes, that would be in his. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Maybe that wasn't a repeat story. Okay. Let's search where he worked. Somebody's lying. We're gonna figure it out. Whoa, 7. Okay.
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
That was 1994, so...
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
So she used to work there too. They have 2 kids. Writing up a profile on Eric.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't start my timer, did I, friends? I most definitely did not. That noise of someone moving around, that's not me. Oh man, okay. I didn't really learn anything from that. Okay, let's go back to... Still going through Mr. Simon Smith here. So he missed work, right? Because there's a whole gap. Wow.
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful.
Missed work. Not okay with it? No. Odd. I know she said missed work one time. Busy? Who is she in the white?
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. Mum was amazed.
So the white long sleeve is clearly Eve. This is a different day, though.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. Nothing. I to see no one in the bedroom called Simon. That enough?
Is that a different shirt, though? So this shirt is
Never had any
oversized.
reason to notice. They were
That shirt's oversized and has a pocket. Does this shirt have a pocket?
okay.
Doesn't look like it.
I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon.
It's a different shirt. Okay. Worked at Glazers. What about blondes? It says here that he liked blondes. What about blonde? So there's 6 entries for blondes. Or blonde.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
She's saying this other person doesn't exist? That's weird. Interesting. 7 entries for wig.
A wig? You mean? But what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Wig's a dead end, huh? Let's keep working on Simon here. So he liked blondes, but like. In video. How many? I forgot how many videos come up for Helen. Only 2. Okay. Search disappeared. games. She said he played games on that one computer. Something about being ginger too. His beard is ginger. Just for we're gonna search beard too. Not bread. We're going through stuff pretty quick. Went through blondes. Dark. Says he's 6 feet tall.
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Desperate for leads. No, ma'am, we are not desperate for leads. We're just trying to see if you mess up. We are definitely done with Mr. I searched married a long time ago, yeah. Fortunately, there's 12 entries. Here we go.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Did Eve kill Hannah's parents? Can chit chat go away, please? Did Eve kill Hannah's parents? Here we go. Here we go, friends.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes.
Doug?
When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Secret. Secret is a real good word. Who the heck is Eleanor and Doug, though?
Our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Not with Eve, I'm sure it's not. I need to search that. I know I wrote down sex somewhere else, but I'm gonna write down sex life just in case.
Simon was very moral about that sort of thing. He wouldn't just walk out there and sleep with anyone. He wasn't that kind of guy. He took his marriage very seriously.
He was just married to 2 women.
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing.
So she wore the blonde wig. So he thought he was cheating on her with someone else. Huh. Too many leads to follow here. I already searched blonde hair, didn't I? Oh, I searched blonde wig. Good. Here we go. Time to search the cellar. Ooh. This is Hannah.
I was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
Parcel tape? That was Hannah. Now this is Eve talking.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Alibi. Alibi. What is their alibi? So she's confessing, basically.
It happened body information on us. That was my touch. To make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay, here we go, guys. Freaking jackpot. Really? The watch. She said something about the watch.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
But she wasn't in Glasgow. So in the beginning, they tried to lie. And in the end, Eve came clean about it. She wasn't really in... Did I search Glasgow yet? I don't think I did. I want to search Diane. I haven't searched Diane yet.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
We don't have videos of Diane being interviewed.
Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
We don't have any videos of Diane. That's what I thought. Okay, well, Diane's kind of a dead end, huh? Oh, wife.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Did I search baby yet? I don't know if I did or not. Gotta search Glasgow. Should put these in some kind of alphabetic order. Alphabetical. We searched baby, but we got a ton of stuff. So baby is one we're gonna need to go back to. I'm gonna circle baby. Oh man, okay, well, I got some random leads here. She did say a plumber came over, so we'll see if that has to do with anything. Nope. She said it felt like she'd been burgled. Nope, good. They had been separated again. Just for giggles, let's put in again and see. 9 entries.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Rapunzel is first on the weird list here. Put in childhood. It's also on my list. I gotta search tattoo too at some point. Good. Childhood's done. Let's search tattoo. Oh, would help if I'd spelled it right. Ooh.
No, he doesn't have any tattoo.
Okay, I thought that would be his.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Interesting. So, tattoo one is Hannah. I believe it's Hannah.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
So she... That's Eve, though. Who is she when she's wearing the freaking... Oh, the blue shirt is Eve?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk, but he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, well, that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married.
Oh.
I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
We're gonna search this word. I thought I'd get a little bit more from tattoo, but at least I... Palindrome? Just those two videos, okay. I feel like I'm missing something big, because I'm missing... Still missing big chunks here. Okay. Let's go back to some earlier notes that I skipped. I assume she wore a blonde wig so that she wouldn't look like her sister. Oh, here's a big one. This is gonna blow up. I knew this would be a big one.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private? Are you married? How is your sex life?
Sex and life. I gotta add that for the next search.
No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
The dotted one is Hannah, yes. Okay. Perfect. Here we go.
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate. It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
Yep. Good. She doesn't say the word slut a bunch of times. Wait, what about strangers? I swear she's used that word before. Wow, okay. Here we go. When she told Simon about Eve. Oh yeah, here we go.
I remember the ticket, of course. I paid it without telling Simon. Didn't want to get told off. And they put points on the license.
She's acting like his his wife in this video, though.
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them? It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Detective Sergeant. Apparently I should save this video. Apparently this video was very important. I guess let's watch that video again just to be sure.
It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Okay. Good. I want to hear more about different cars. Because what car did she use? Here we go, cars.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car. I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
So whose story is she talking about?
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And excuse me. Is there a bin?
She's... Hannah's not pregnant, right? Eve is.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
It's more that have to do with cars, but... Good. Exactly 5 come up. Okay, good.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew
Prince.
we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Wow, okay. You know what I didn't search? I think I searched twin. Did I search twin? I searched twin, right? I never did. Wow.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Well, before she comes clean, I don't know who she is then. Because either person could be claiming to be Hannah.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
Need a break. This gets weirder as it goes. Good. 5 entries for Prince. Okay.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
She's lying.
I don't know if anyone one really changes. You just become more yourself. Simon was my prince, and that hasn't changed.
What next? I don't know what I jotted down here. More something, Hannah, Simon. I'm gonna type in more, because I don't know what I wrote after that. I can't. 13. I don't know. More men? Hmm. Yeah, but a bunch of one new one at least comes up.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile.
Oh,
Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
so she's still pretending to be Hannah at this point. The dotted shirt is when she gets sick, but no, she gets sick in the orange shirt too. There's 16 entries. I put in told Simon, right? What about told Eve?
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop
Oh
us
yeah, I
off.
remember.
I mean,
Yeah, nothing important there. Oh, this should be. Hopefully, this is the big one. They did something with a Ouija board.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Interesting. Share dreams as in share them, or as in tell them to each other? I should write that down. Still trying to determine if they're actually two people. I wrote down guitarra, or guitar for some reason. Oh, well, here we go.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf.
Simon was he liked to listen. Okay, so he met her at
Yes.
the bar.
Yeah, it's my guitar.
Odd. Oddly enough. Now, at one point she said that she broke the rules. Search rule. Only 4 thing comes. Okay.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
She broke the rules.
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
I don't even... know how to spell freaking permutations.
For things that could... We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Okay, here we go. Let's do arrest. Exactly 5 clips for arrest.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
It's not till later that she comes clean. Whoa.
This is a nicer room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them? Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist? That's wild. This game, man. The further we go down this rabbit hole, the wilder it gets, I swear. We're gonna hit up Glasgow here in a second. And I think we might be out of time because I forgot to start the timer. Oh, here we go.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Is that the only way to tell twins? How do you tell twins apart? I don't actually know.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
So yeah, so she was dressed up like Hannah. I got it. When she killed him. She was dressed up like Eve, I mean.
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house, Hannah served up sandwiches and I stayed out of sight.
So did she create this Eve character to get out of the murder? Okay. Let's talk about Glasgow. There's 10 entries.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Well, guys, Glasgow. One last thing to search, and then we're going to have to cut this video because I think we might be running over. Oh. We already did cremation. Well, that ends everything on this page for all of my investigations. Oh, well, my friends, this story gets weirder and weirder. You guys are going to have to tune in next time. Maybe we can find out some more. Or at least try to solve this. Still got quite a few videos to find here. We still haven't found the first one. Interesting. Well, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. Other than that, take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.